What's going on, guys? It's Asal, and today we're going to be going over Zenyatta because he has received a pretty substantial buff, and he is right now actually quite a strong healer, surprisingly, as before this patch he was one of the less useful healers and was picked pretty much never. The first change we're going to look at is that Zenyatta now has 50 more shields, bringing him up to 50 health and 150 shields, up to 200 hit points. Now this is what Zenyatta desperately needed, because before the patch he was extremely squishy. Now, for example, in the launch of Overwatch, Zenyatta could be one-shot by Widowmaker with a body shot. Now that changed, of course, but nonetheless Zenyatta was still a little bit too squishy. Now he has some other buffs as well, but this is by far the best and the most noteworthy, as with 50 health and 150 shields, you have as many hit points as all the other healers, but you can regen almost all of it back in the blink of an eye, making it much easier to stay alive longer than with some of those other heroes. With that being said though, you still can't fly away like Mercy or boost away like Lucio, so Zenyatta can still be a bit of a sitting duck if caught out of position, as 200 hit points is still only 200 hit points, so it's still very important to not overextend. Zenyatta's ultimate Transcendence has also received quite a big buff. It now does 300 healing per second, up from 200, and your movement speed is also doubled upon activation, so needless to say, this is a huge increase in overall healing, and it's pretty much impossible for your teammates to die when this is active, unless of course they get killed in one shot. The increased movement speed is also great, and it accomplishes two things. Now first of all, it's much easier to get team members that may not be in range of the rest of your group all healed up, or if your team isn't grouped up to begin with, and secondly, it also serves as a form of escape for Zenyatta, as he didn't really have any sort of mobility before this patch. Now the increased healing of Transcendence is no doubt great, but I'm most excited for the movement speed, because many times I have popped Transcendence to save my life, only to be followed for the entire duration of the ability and just killed when it ended, which, as you can imagine, is pretty frustrating considering that the ability isn't exactly cheap to cast. Zenyatta's orb travel speed has also been increased dramatically, so applying your Orb of Discord and Harmony is now much snappier. It's almost 4 times as fast. Now that's quite a bit. Now in itself, this isn't a crazy change, but the effect it has on Zenyatta's gameplay is actually quite pleasant, as healing is almost instantaneous and it's much easier to acquire a target, apply your orb, and start dealing damage. Altogether, these changes result in a very large buff to Zenyatta, though to be fair, he desperately needed it, as pretty much no one played Zenyatta almost ever, and if someone did, it was like, oh man, he's playing Zenyatta, I can't believe it. But no more will that be the case moving forward, at least for the time being. I've found that it is much easier to stay alive for longer periods of time with Zenyatta thanks to his increased health pool as well as those extra shields, because even if someone gets you down to 25 health, all you need to do is hide for a few seconds and then you're back in the action with 175 health, which is pretty awesome. Plus, it's much easier to get out of harm's way with Transcendence's movement buff, and not to mention the increased healing capacity of your ultimate as well as your Orb of Harmony with the faster application. So altogether, you are able to get more health faster and you're able to heal your team much better than you were previously, resulting in your team being alive, you being alive, resulting in longer kill streaks. And by kill streaks, I mean more time to stay on the objective, right? Though there is a nerf coming as well to Zenyatta's main attack, which will now deal 35 damage down from 40, though his secondary attack is having its damage increased from 35 up to 40. As to why Blizzard made this change, my guess is that otherwise Zenyatta would be a little too strong with his primary attack, though I will say that the increased damage of his secondary is not to be scoffed at all, as a fully charged shot with his ability with the Orb of Discord applied to your target will absolutely wreck pretty much any tank out there as long as your aim is on point. If you haven't given the new and improved Zenyatta a try, I encourage you to do so, as he really has become a lot of fun to play with, and this is hugely appreciated, as I believe a lot more people will be drawn to play support with Zenyatta's buff, as well as the addition of Ana, Overwatch's newest support hero. Plus, we should also start to see some variety in which support heroes are chosen, as before the patch, no one really played any other supports other than Mercy or Lucio, though Symmetra was chosen in some cases, though she isn't really a support, but it will be nice to see some more variety in the meta moving forward. Though I will say this, if you're looking to craft the ideal team composition, Zenyatta still isn't the best solo solo healer. I mean, he can definitely do it, but he is more offensively built than say Mercy or Lucio. If you're stoked for equality between healers, be sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more Overwatch content and you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now everybody, this has been Asal, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.